Hi guys, and welcome. Today is going to be the first canning video that I'm doing in this new series of canning and dehydrating. So today we're going to can up little mandarin oranges. Okay, so let's see what we need to do. Okay, first up, most important is your jars. Okay, these are pint jars and they have been thoroughly washed with soapy water, been rinsed out, and now I'm going to pop these 2, 4, 6, 7 jars in my oven on between 150 and 180 for about 10-15 minutes. Okay, next up, your jar lifters. Very important. Something to pick your lids up because I'm going to soak my lids in some hot water from the kettle. I just find that they seal better when they're warm. And with that, I'm just going to plonk that in there just to heat my bottom of my funnel up, so when I stick it on glasses it shouldn't go bang. Okay, so we'll put that to one side. You're also going to need white vinegar and some kitchen towel. Let me see if I can open this one. Okay, let's put some in this little dish. Okay, and this is what you're going to use to wipe your jars around the lid to make sure they're nice and clean and not sticky. So let me put that to one side. So you're going to need some bands, which I've got to one side, and you're going to need a canner. This here is a steam canner and I love this, absolutely love it. And then we're going to need some water, a pot, and this is for our syrup. This is going to make our syrup. Okay, and the syrup recipe is within this book. So let's start putting all this together. You can see what we do. In here I have 2 small nets of little clementines or mandarins, and I'm going to peel this skin off, and I'm going to actually add it to a jar because I make vinegar out of the waste bits. Because the more I can do no waste, the better it is. And all you're going to do is try and take off as much of these little stringy bits and pith off as you can. As you can see, I've done all the others. I'm not over fussy on it, just long as, you know, you can get some of it off. My jars are now in my oven. Because I haven't got a dishwasher, I can't sterilise them any other way apart from in my oven or on the glass, in the cooker, or on the cooker, because you could boil them in a water bath and sterilise them that way. I do my oven because I just find it easier for me, because it means my oven can keep them warm and they can be ready whenever I want them to be. So with this you can use a water bath canner or a steam canner. I do love this steam canner and I'll tell you why. It doesn't take half as much water, it doesn't take as long to bring the water up to temperature, because I can be stood here, you know, a good 45 minutes to an hour waiting for the water to get up to temperature if I'm water bath canning. So this is a much quicker way. I love it. I got my steam canner on Amazon. And I haven't looked back. And with the steam canner, it's the same timing as a water bath canner, but the maximum that you can in the steam canner is up to 40 minutes. You cannot do any longer, so you have to keep an eye out for that. Right, that's my segments peeled. This is the jar with all the peel and pith and all that in. I'm just gonna add a 1/4 cup of sugar, because this I will turn into vinegar. This is something I do every time, whether I'm dehydrating or I'm canning. Anything that can make a vinegar will be made into a vinegar. So that will do. Cloth, elastic band, that's done. Stir it every day, and that'll be done in about a month. Right, let me clear up a little bit, because I like to keep everything nice and clean and tidy. For my altitude, I will be steam canning these for 10 minutes. Please check your altitude and adjust the timings accordingly to a trusted source. I use this. I love this book. Totally recommend it. It hasn't got this recipe in, but I did get it off of a trusted site. So I'm going to start my steam canner. I've got a thermometer here that I'm just going to poke through the air vent, because I'll be raw packing these, and for this steamer it has to be at 140 for raw packing or 180 Fahrenheit for hot packing. So I'm going to be doing raw packing. So I'm going to turn this temperature on. So I've got my oranges are ready, so they're just going to sit over here and wait. In here I'm doing a light syrup, so I've got 2 1/4 cups of sugar and 5 1/4 cups of water. I'm going to put that in straight away with the sugar, and I need to bring this up to the boil. Move you. Right, so I need to turn this on, bring this up to a boil. By the time everything's all up to temperature, we'll be ready to can it. This is my first time video in a canning session, so please forgive me if I missed something out. You know, it is still all new to me. Whatever recipe you're going to follow, you need to check your altitude to where you are, because the higher the altitude, the longer that you need to can something for. That's with water bath and steam canning. I can't talk about pressure canning. I've never done it, and I don't think I probably will ever manage to get a pressure canner in the UK. They cost quite a lot to try and import over, so that will probably be unlikely. Certainly not anytime soon, that's for sure. Right, I will bring you back once this is up to a boil. Once the canner's up to 140, once the jars have sterilised, which should all be happening roughly at the same time, it will take a few minutes, and then we can get to canning these mandarin segments. Okay, this is coming up to a boil. My steam canner is 143, but that's fine. It will drop slightly because I'm going to take the lid off to obviously to load it. So I've got that turned down low at the moment. Okay, that is boiling. I'm going to turn it off. I'll put the lid on and move it out of the way just for a second. I'm going to get my oven mitt and I'm going to pull the glass jars out. Make sure you've got something to pad the jars to take the heat, because you don't want to put hot jars on something cold because they will shatter. So I've got a couple of tea towels folded. Now we're going to get our orange segments and we're going to put them in to here. Check your head space. I'm now going to top up with my syrup. As I said, this is a light syrup. That allows me to top up just a little bit more. Half-inch head space. Okay, brilliant. So we're going to go in here with a chopstick and we're going to try and dislodge any bubbles. Okay, I've actually swapped out my jar for a slightly smaller one, and that is fine. I'm going to process that exactly the same time. So I'm just going to go around and debubble and topping up if anything drops below the half-inch head space, which this one has again. Okay, now we're going to take the vinegar and we're going to dip it in the paper towel in the white vinegar. We're going to wipe the rims, and you wipe them really well because you don't want any stickiness that will prevent a seal. Okay, time for the lids. That's on there. Put your bands on, only to fingertip tight. Okay, they are ready. Okay, I'm going to pull this off. You're going to get your jar lifters. You're going to put them into there. Put your lid back on. I'm going to make sure that it is facing me, because on this dial, it's a bit hard to see, but there's different zones. I'm on this outside one where the blue is. I'm round there, and my boiling point 0 to 3,000 feet. So I'm the blue one, and my boiling point is on this notch here. It gets just to this side of the notch, and that's when I start my timer. So I will bring you back when it's time to start the timer. As we're reaching into our green zone, it's not time yet, as you can see it's very hot. I turn down the temperature right down to 3. Okay, so it'll only be a few more minutes and then we'll be able to hit that 10-minute timer. Okay, my red needle is right on the place we need to be. So we start timing for 10 minutes now. I'll bring you back when they are done. Once 10 minutes is up, what we're going to do is we're going to leave them alone. We're going to turn off the heat and leave them alone for the minimum of 5 minutes before we take the lid off. Okay, so when we're at that stage, I'll bring you back. As you can see, we have seconds left before the steam canner is ready. There we are. Now what we've got to do is turn the heat off and then we let it stand for 5 minutes. I'll be back in 5 minutes to pull the jars out of the canner. Okay, this is the countdown to the canner being done. So it's rested 5 minutes. So I'm going to take the lid off. I'm going to get my jar lifters and I'm going to place them there. There we are. Now we leave them, we don't touch them, we do nothing until tomorrow morning, and I will check on them a bit later to see if they sealed. Hopefully they have, and if they have, that is brilliant. All I need to do tomorrow morning is take the bands off, give the jars a good wash, and we will be ready to put on the shelf. So I will bring you back tomorrow to show you the washing the jars, etc. I wanted to show you, it's a bit later on, and these lids have sealed because they're the button top lids, like this. So they do have that button in. I know it's hard to see on there, but if they haven't sealed, that is the sound that you would get. And these are all sealed. So I'll bring you back when we're ready to wash them. Okay, I've got some warm soapy water ready. It's the mandarins. I can take the band off, sling it in, and do that with all 3. That one can sit in there for a moment. Soaking that on. I'm going to put some good squirt of white vinegar in there. That helps cut through all that stickiness. I have myself a cloth. I'm going to make sure these bands are cleaned thoroughly, and so's the jars, because that gets very sticky around here. As you can see, they're still sealed. Drop that a minute. Yeah, picking up by the band. Not by the band, by the lid. I just want to try and get as much sticky as we can off. Okay, now let's work on these bands and get them all sparkly clean. Don't leave these bands in water too long. Make sure you dry them off really thoroughly because they will rust. So that's why I don't like soaking them for too long. Okay, I'm going to make sure I dry these thoroughly and then they can be put away. We're ready for the next canning one then. Let's try these jars. This way we'll know if there's any sticky bits and whether they need to go back in for another wash. Nope, no stickiness. Isn't that a pretty jar? Squeaky clean. So that's the 3. So there they are. All ready to be put on the pantry shelf. Well, I hope you liked this little video of canning mandarin segments. If you did, if you could please hit that like button, give it the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell. That way you will not miss a video. So until next time, happy canning all!